Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. My name is Amir Merchant from G.E.M.S Immigration Services. I am a licensed immigration advisor for New Zealand and a former migration agent for Australia, currently based at our head office in Auckland. On this channel, we share practical guidance on visa processes, immigration pathways, investment and citizenship options, and related topics to help you make informed decisions. If you are unsure about your visa options or planning your next step, consider subscribing and enabling notifications so you stay updated with the latest developments. Now imagine this. You have completed a full legal intercountry adoption process. The court orders are finalized. The child is legally yours under the laws of the country of origin. You are a New Zealand citizen or resident ready to bring your child home. Everything feels complete emotionally, but then the immigration stage begins. And suddenly the process becomes far more technical, more detailed, and far more sensitive than most families expect. Today we are covering one of the most important and life-changing immigration pathways in New Zealand, the Intercountry Adoption Resident Visa. This is the visa that allows an adopted child from overseas to live permanently in New Zealand with their adoptive New Zealand citizen or resident parent. And here is the first key reality. This visa is not based on emotion. It is based on legal recognition, immigration compliance, and child welfare safeguards. So in this full deep dive, we are going to break down the complete application process step by step for 2026. We will cover eligibility rules, legal adoption recognition, documentation requirements, Oranga Tamariki involvement, health and character requirements, financial support, residency pathways, citizenship implications, common refusal risks, hidden challenges, and how to structure a strong application from anywhere in the world. Let's begin. First, what exactly is the Intercountry Adoption Resident Visa? This visa allows a child who has been legally adopted overseas by a New Zealand citizen or resident to come and live in New Zealand permanently. Once granted, the child can live, study, and eventually work in New Zealand depending on age. And in many cases, this visa becomes the final immigration step after the adoption process has been completed overseas. Now, here is the most important starting point. The adoption must already be legally complete and fully recognized under the law of the country where it took place and must also be acceptable under New Zealand legal standards. This is where many applicants face confusion because not every overseas adoption automatically meets New Zealand's requirements. Immigration New Zealand examines whether the adoption is full, final, and legally equivalent to a New Zealand adoption. That includes checking court orders, legal guardianship transfers, parental consent documents, and whether the child can legally leave their home country. Now let's move into eligibility. To apply for this visa, the applicant must be a New Zealand citizen or resident who is the legal adoptive parent of the child. The child must be under 25 years of age and must meet dependent child criteria. They must generally be single and not have dependents of their own, and the adoption must be legally recognized in both the country of origin and acceptable under New Zealand law. Now, here is a critical point many people overlook. Immigration officers are not only verifying the adoption document itself, they are verifying the entire legal chain behind the adoption. That includes how the adoption was processed, whether it followed lawful procedures, whether it has permanent legal effect, and whether there are any ongoing parental rights or disputes. Now let's talk about the first major document stage, identity documents for the child. This includes the child's passport, full birth certificate, adoption certificate, court orders, and identity photographs. These must all be consistent. And consistency matters more than anything else in this process. Even small differences in names or dates across documents can trigger additional checks. Now let's talk about the adoptive parent side. As a New Zealand citizen or resident, you must provide proof of your status. This can include your New Zealand passport, citizenship certificate, or resident visa. You must also show that you are living in New Zealand or intend to reside there with the child. Evidence can include accommodation records, employment records, tax documents, or proof of established life in New Zealand. Now, let's move into one of the most important requirements in this visa category, adoption recognition. Immigration New Zealand must be satisfied that the adoption is legally valid and has the same effect as a New Zealand adoption. That usually means providing full adoption papers, court rulings, and sometimes additional legal assessment depending on the country involved. In some cases, confirmation may be required showing that the adoption complies with the laws of the child's home country and that the child is legally allowed to leave. This is a critical safeguard. Now let's talk about Oranga Tamariki involvement. In inter-country adoption cases, Oranga Tamariki plays a key role in ensuring that the adoption meets New Zealand child welfare standards. In many situations, written confirmation or support from Oranga Tamariki may be required before the visa can proceed. This ensures that the adoption is legitimate, ethical, and in the best interests of the child. Now let's move into health requirements. The child must generally be in good health. Depending on age, medical examinations and chest x-rays may be required. Children over a certain age threshold will usually need full medical assessments. Now here is something very important. Health requirements are not meant to exclude children. They are meant to ensure that appropriate support is available in New Zealand if needed. Now let's talk about character requirements. If the child is older, police certificates may be required. This is not about assuming wrongdoing. It is a standard immigration safeguard for dependent children above a certain age. Now let's discuss financial requirements. The New Zealand citizen or resident adoptive parent must demonstrate they can financially support the child. This includes housing, food, education, healthcare costs where applicable, and general living expenses. In some cases, a sponsor may also be involved. And here is a key warning. Financial evidence must be stable and genuine. Sudden financial changes or unexplained deposits can raise questions. Consistency is always preferred. Now let's talk about a very important requirement, genuine intention. Immigration officers must be satisfied that the adoption is genuine, permanent, and not being used to bypass immigration rules. They will assess the full background of the adoption, the family situation, and supporting documentation. Now let's move into the application process itself. Step 1 is preparing identity and legal documents. Step 2 is confirming adoption recognition and legal validity. Step 3 is gathering Oranga Tamariki support or confirmation if required. Step 4 is preparing financial evidence. Step 5 is completing health and character requirements. Step 6 is submitting the online application with complete documentation. And step 7 is responding to any immigration requests for additional information. Now here is one of the most important parts of the entire process. The application must be complete and well organized from the beginning. Immigration officers deal with highly sensitive cases involving children. So clarity, structure, and consistency matter enormously. Now, let's talk about translations. Any document not in English must be translated by a certified translator, not informal translations, not partial summaries. Accurate and complete translations are essential. Now, let's discuss processing considerations. Processing times can vary depending on complexity, document verification, and country of origin. Cases involving inter-country adoption often require additional checks because of the legal and international nature of the process. Now, here is something many families do not anticipate. Even after approval, border officers still have authority to assess entry at arrival. So families should always carry key documents when traveling. That includes passports, visa approval, adoption papers, and contact details of the adoptive parent in New Zealand. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest hidden risks, unrecognized or incomplete adoptions. If their adoption is not legally complete or does not meet New Zealand standards, the application may not be eligible for residence at all. In some cases, a temporary visitor visa may be used while the adoption process is finalized. Now let's discuss common refusal or delay reasons. Incomplete legal adoption documentation, weak evidence of legal finality, missing Oranga Tamariki support, financial insufficiency, identity inconsistencies, poor translations, custody or legal disputes, and incomplete application structure. Now let's talk about something very important, digital consistency. Immigration officers may compare information across documents, records, and supporting materials. Any contradictions can create delays. Now let's discuss strategy. A strong inter-country adoption resident visa application is built on 4 foundations: legal certainty, document consistency, financial stability, and full transparency. Now here is the success formula: a legally completed inter-country adoption, strong supporting legal documentation, clear New Zealand citizen or resident status, proof of financial ability, health and character compliance, proper translations, and a well-structured application. That is what creates a strong case. Because at the end of the day, Immigration New Zealand is asking one fundamental question: is this child's adoption legally valid, properly supported, and suitable for permanent residence in New Zealand? If the answer is yes, the pathway becomes significantly clearer. And remember this is not just a visa application. It is the beginning of a permanent family life in New Zealand. So preparation, accuracy, and care matter more than anything else. Because one honest and well-prepared application is far more powerful than a thick folder full of random paperwork, and you have come to the right place to get all your visa applications sorted in a hassle-free and professional manner. If you found this video valuable, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel, because we break down real immigration pathways, real strategies, and real insights so you can make the right decisions without falling into common traps. And our expert team and associates can assist you to simplify this entire complex process and guide you from start to finish with complete peace of mind. Do get in touch with us now on our WhatsApp mobile number +642217860007. Also provided in the comment section of this video, and we will get in touch with you as soon as possible. Your journey deserves the right start, and it starts with the right consultation. And now you have it. Thank you for watching.